Oh gosh! For those of you who might not know, Jaguar Wright isn't just some random person throwing out wild accusations. This woman has been in the music game for years, and I'm talking deep in the industry. She started performing when she was just 13 years old. Can you imagine? By the time she was doing background vocals, she was working closely with Jay-Z himself. That's right, Hova. Jaguar was once a rising star in Philly's neo-soul scene, repping Black Lily and making moves alongside the Roots and Questlove back in the late 90s. Her voice? Honey, it was a powerful mix of jazz and hip-hop that had everyone turning heads. She even got her big break on Jay-Z's iconic 2001 MTV Unplugged performance. That was pop culture history right there. After that performance, Jaguar signed with MCA Records and dropped her debut album, Denials, Delusions, and Decisions, in 2002. But things got rocky when her label folded into Geffen, and after releasing her second album in 2005, she kind of faded from the mainstream. Fast forward 23 years, and Jaguar's known less for her music and more as this self-appointed whistleblower. She's been out here dropping secrets about everyone from Jill Scott to Talib Kweli to Diddy. And let me tell you, some of her claims actually line up with real legal cases. When she started calling out people like R. Kelly and Diddy, that's when people really began paying attention. But here's where things get really wild. Jaguar dropped a bomb on none other than Jay-Z, the very man who helped elevate her in the industry. And now, things are getting messier than a toddler eating spaghetti.
Jay, you told us. You told us.
He put the boost to that girl. And Kim Porter put a line in her life.
Call y'all up for free.
Do you feel like they're trying to silence you?
Of course they're trying to silence me. That's why they sent shooters to 87th Street. Harold's Chicken and try to shoot me down in the middle of the day.
According to this new blind item, she is allegedly in hiding and fearing for her life.
That's right, besties. Jaguar's bodyguard just exposed some seriously scary stuff. According to him, Jay-Z and Diddy didn't just want Jaguar to stay quiet, they allegedly wanted her gone for good. We're talking a hit placed on her life. Jaguar's being targeted by the same powerful forces she's been calling out for years, and now she's scared for her life. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds like something out of a movie, right? But Jaguar's been spilling Hollywood's dirtiest secrets for years, never flinching at the consequences. She's gone head-to-head with some of the industry's biggest names like it was nothing, but when you mess with the Carters, that's when things get real. Let's break down what Jaguar said on Piers Morgan's show. She went all in on Diddy, giving us details that sound like a straight-up horror movie. She claims she's seen ritualistic behaviors firsthand, talking about girls being put in suitcases and left in alleys. I know, it's wild. According to Jaguar, this isn't new. She says the industry has been like this forever, and everyone at the top knows what's going on, but chooses to look the other way. Why? Because money talks, honey.
All leads back to Diddy, and everyone knows it.
Jaguar accused Diddy of being at the center of a whole criminal network that's been exploiting women for decades. She says this has been happening for 30-plus years and claims she knows hundreds of victims.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I think people should really look into that more.
Now, if you're thinking this sounds too wild to be true, Jaguar claims it's all part of a bigger plan to silence anyone who might expose the truth. And listen, she made it crystal clear. Diddy is one of the most dangerous people she's ever crossed paths with.
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met.
A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange.
But it doesn't stop there. Jaguar claims Diddy isn't some self-made mogul. She says he was molded by his mentors to be the monster he is today. And guess who she called out as Diddy's main teachers? None other than big-name execs like Clive Davis and Lucian Grange. According to Jaguar, they've been protecting him for decades. Now let's talk about these infamous freak-off parties. Jaguar didn't hold back on the details. She says she's got connections with sex workers who've been to these parties, and what they told her is absolutely shocking.
He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a worker, I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the world and the entertainment world run hand in hand.
But here's where Jaguar apparently crossed the line. She straight up said that Jay-Z's been behind some wild stuff, even implying he had something to do with Aaliyah's tragic death over 20 years ago.
For me, because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
And let's not forget, she's also dragged Beyonce into the mess, calling them a nasty couple and hinting at some even wilder accusations that'll leave you speechless.
That's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice.
Now, this Jay-Z drama isn't anything new for Jaguar. Her accusations go way back to when she was still deep in the industry, working behind the scenes and seeing things most people only hear rumors about. According to Jaguar, Jay was salty because Aaliyah rejected him, and he wanted to make sure she didn't expose him as a creep, especially with his connection to R. Kelly. She claims Jay-Z might have known about R. Kelly's shady behavior way before the rest of us caught on, but chose to turn a blind eye because of their so-called bro code.
And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both f***ed Aaliyah. They shared so much in common. You know? And then there was a falling out. And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of the both worlds, best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this yet.
Nobody talks about that project.
That nigga swept that smooth under the rug.
Why?
Yeah, we know why.
You know what? I got a better question.
Yeah.
How valuable is a Biggie Smalls verse?
And when R. Kelly was out here allegedly falsifying documents to marry Aaliyah when she was just 15 and he was almost 30, Jay didn't exactly rush to distance himself. Nope. Instead, he kept calling R. Kelly his bro, made music with him, and even went on tour together, which, let's be real, is all kinds of shady. But that wasn't the only time Jaguar spilled tea on Jay-Z. She's claimed that if we thought Diddy was bad, Jay-Z was apparently on a whole other level.
Sean Carter is worse.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. He been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years. It's fucking worse.
When it came to business, she didn't hold back either. According to Jaguar, Jay-Z allegedly pulled a dirty move on his partner Damon Dash by selling Rockefeller Records right out from under him. And the motive? Pure jealousy. Apparently, Aaliyah was interested in Dame and started dating him while Jay-Z had his eye on her too. Jay was reportedly so salty about it that he blindsided Dame by selling the label just to get back at him for being the guy Aaliyah chose.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't give a f if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was f***ing the girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
But Jaguar didn't just stop at throwing shade. She connected it all, saying that Beyonce benefited from Aaliyah's death because, let's face it, if Aaliyah had been around, Beyonce wouldn't have risen to superstardom in the same way. Now, when someone like Jaguar Wright speaks out, you already know the drill. People instantly slap her with labels like conspiracy theorist and clout chaser, or just call her flat out crazy. But she's not just talking out of thin air. In another interview, Jaguar laid it all out, comparing Jay-Z's behavior toward her to how Diddy treated Cassie. But this isn't just about her personal beef. Jaguar has been on a mission to expose how Z and Diddy have allegedly manipulated vulnerable women and young artists for years, all while hiding behind ironclad NDAs and their powerful industry connections. And that's not even the half of it. Jaguar's got even more dark stories tied to Jay-Z's name. One of the biggest? She's convinced that Jay was involved in the death of Harlem rap legend Big L. For those who don't know, Big L was a Harlem legend, one of the first to believe in Jay-Z when nobody else was checking for him. Big L even put Jay on, showing him the ropes and setting the stage for what Jay's career would eventually become. But according to Jaguar, Jay-Z repaid Big L's loyalty by stabbing him in the back. Literally. She believes Jay put a hit on Big L, even though they were supposed to be cool.
Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow.
That was the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Big L was gunned down in Harlem just days before a deal with Rockefeller was finalized. To this day, the police haven't solved his murder. Big L's childhood friend was arrested but walked free after 3 months due to lack of evidence. Jaguar's theory is that Jay-Z allegedly saw Big L as competition and had him taken out before he could make his next big move. Jaguar didn't stop at the physical stuff. She's also been spilling tea about Jay-Z's alleged affair with Kathy White. According to Jaguar, Kathy was Jay's mistress, and things took a dark turn when she told him she was pregnant with his child. The timing is also super shady because this all supposedly went down right when Beyonce was pregnant with Blue Ivy. According to insiders, Kathy was starting to feel like a liability for Jay because she was threatening to blow up his spot and go public about the affair and the baby. Now, if that wasn't wild enough, Kathy's best friend at the time, Claudia Jordan, apparently got a little warning from Jay too, basically telling her to keep her mouth shut or she'd meet the same fate as Kathy. And it's not just whispers. There was even a blind item back in October 2020 that broke it down like this. An A-list host, allegedly Claudia Jordan, has always kept quiet about the mysterious death of her friend, but over the years, she's gotten more and more convinced that an A-list rapper, allegedly Jay-Z, had something to do with it. The timing was just too convenient. Kathy was becoming a problem for Jay, and boom, she's suddenly dead. With all these stories floating around, it's no wonder Jay-Z has a reputation for being someone you don't want to cross. And don't even get me started on Beyoncé's fan base, the Bayhive. They don't play. Say something about their queen and they'll come for you, no questions asked. But guess who's not losing sleep over it? Jaguar Wright. She does not care. Anywhere the Carters are catching heat, you can bet Jaguar's in the front row with popcorn, living her best life. She's been going at them for so long, and they've stayed suspiciously quiet, which has only added fuel to the rumors. But that all changed with the Piers Morgan interview. Word is, Jaguar's latest claims hit way too close to home, and now Jay-Z is trying to shut her down for real. According to the streets, Jay's lawyers reached out to Piers Morgan and had the entire section of Jaguar's interview where she talked about him and Beyoncé deleted. Yep, wiped clean. On top of that, they made Piers issue a public apology, claiming everything Jaguar said was false and had no basis in fact. Oh, and they threatened legal action against Piers if he didn't comply.
So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that, it was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
Now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. We apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
But here's the real tea. If everything Jaguar said is false, why not go after her? Why not slap her with a defamation suit, especially since she's been dragging them across smaller podcasts for years? But suddenly she's on a big platform and the lawyers come knocking? Doesn't that seem a little fishy? Fans are starting to worry. Like, people are genuinely scared for Jaguar's safety because we all know too many people have mysteriously disappeared or ended up dead when they start talking too much about industry heavyweights like Jay-Z. Jaguar's bodyguard, Angelo, who's been in charge of keeping her safe since she started exposing Hollywood, knows more than anyone else. He says, "The job is to keep Jaguar alive as long as possible by any means possible." The idea of celebs sending hitmen sounds like something out of a movie. But when you're someone like Jaguar, who's built a reputation for exposing the industry's darkest secrets, it's not that hard to believe. Fans have been predicting something like this for a while. Lawsuits, sure, but an assassination attempt? That's next level. According to her bodyguard, Jay-Z didn't just play around. He allegedly went straight for the jugular, trying to take her out for good. And Jaguar's been out here breaking down on camera, and it looks like it's all getting to her. She's been in tears, trembling, and saying she's got nowhere to run because these folks are coming for her life. According to a new blind item, she is allegedly in hiding and fearing for her life. The blind item reads, "The feline former singer is now in hiding and fears for her life." And again, this is allegedly Jaguar Wright. It's heavy stuff, and some people think it might be paranoia after all the years she spent exposing industry secrets. Others, though, are standing with Jaguar, saying she's just one more victim of a system that's been known to silence whistleblowers. Jaguar even claimed there's a $500,000 bounty on her head, showing just how far these powerhouses are willing to go to protect their secrets and shut down anyone brave enough to expose them. So, what's next? Should Jaguar be watching her back? Jay-Z seems to be taking this more seriously than ever, and some think he's gearing up to finally take legal action against her. But as we've seen before, Jaguar isn't one to back down, and if she's got the receipts she claims to have, things could get even messier. What do y'all think? Is Jay-Z coming for Jaguar this time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and don't go anywhere. There's more tea on the way in the next video. And remember, besties, in this wild world of celebrity drama, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Stay tuned, stay fabulous, and keep sipping that tea. This is Sophie Scoop signing off for now. But trust me, I'll be back with more juicy gossip before you know it. Bye. Bye.